Good morning, comic book fans. Welcome back to Ka-Pow Comics. This is a little bit of an odd video. It's just going to be me telling you what's coming out for Free Comic Book Day. Before we get to that bit, it's just worth pointing out that if you're watching this and you're not coming to my store, your own store may do things differently. For us, because we're a small store, we can't afford to put like loads and loads of money into buying things to give away for free. We have some rules. So I'm going to show you everything that we've got coming in, but each customer can only take 5 comic books and only 1 of each. Now, if you've got a family of people coming in, there's 6 of you, then that's 30 comic books. Yeah, you can get that. But we appreciate people want to get free things, but we want to make sure that people who are not making it in like necessarily straight away first thing in the morning can still get stuff later on in the day. We also understand that there is, in the UK, there's an event happening later on that day. And yeah, some people might want to come in early so they can go and do whatever it is they were going to do. Well, I'll be here all day. I'm not interested in said event. Also, if you do have a local comic book store, please go in on New Comic Book Day. Yeah, because there's free stuff to get. There's usually like goodie bags and maybe some promo events and raffles and things like that. But also, we spend a lot of money on these comic books to give away for free. It helps when people come in and support us. And I'm not lying, there's times when my Free Comic Book Day has been the equivalent of like an entire week's worth of sales. So yeah, turn up and show up and help people out. Right, on to the comic books. I've not really put them in much order other than I'm starting with the young readers, all ages, mature. Other than that, they're just going to be in whatever order I've put them in a pile, so apologise if they're not quite organised in the way you want. I'm going to start with Viz Comics All Ages. Welcome to Animal Crossing, which also has a Kirby thing in there. It was not an unusual thing, actually, splitting the comic book between 2. But I don't really know much about the manga side of things, so apologies, I don't really tell you much about it, but if you like manga, I'm sure that's going to be fine for you. Last Comics on Earth. This is one of the things I quite like when they do the ones for younger readers. It's not like just one big long story, it's broken up into little stories like old Beano and Dandy kind of stuff used to do. And I think there's also some activities in here. I like it when they do activities for kids and stuff. Kind of tells kids to treat comic books like they're a fun thing to enjoy rather than something to look after. Sweet Valley Twins, spin-off Sweet Valley High thing. Again, don't know much about this one, but I flicked through. The artwork is exactly what I expected and quite good. Punch Up from Oni Press. I'm mostly used to these guys doing more mature stuff. It's nice to do an all ages one. And it is full of Hong Kong martial arts action kind of stuff, which is kind of nice. And an exclusive preview of Lights. This is basically somebody who did several other books that have won a bunch of awards. I've not read them, but I've heard good things. Sheets and Delicates, in fact. So yeah, if you heard of those, then you get a little bonus of the next one in here. Marvel All Ages, Marvel Spidey and His Amazing Friends. Very much a kids' one's this. Probably like one of the youngest rated ones I've seen. Chibi artwork style really leads into that. This is a weird clone conspiracy thing in the end here. But again, a lot of activities and really easy to read. From IDW, we do get a young ages one. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but specifically doing the Saturday morning cartoon thing. I will say the actual comic itself, absolutely fine for kids. It capitalises on the retro kind of vibe for grown-ups as well, but the Saturday morning stuff was aimed at children. There's also a really nice sneak preview in of Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, a movie I'm really looking forward to. But I would say, if you are getting it for kids and they come and ask you for some stuff, just be careful, because there's also some very much not aimed at kids comic book advertised in the back as well. Investigators. This is one of things like kids books that I've seen when I've been working in bookshops. Don't really know much about it, but again, it's got some activities and fun stuff for kids to do. Full of fun stuff is Mad Balls versus Garbage Pail Kids. I always find it odd that Garbage Pail Kids is still a kids thing. Yeah, I mean, I was a kid when I started collecting it, but I don't know why I expected it to have grown up with me, and it's really weird that it hasn't. It looks fun though. Lots of different art styles and small comic book format stuff in there, which is really good. 2000 AD, doing Regened, their kids version of it, which I think is really good for Free Comic Book Day and gets more people into reading 2000 AD. It is the most mature of the artwork for the all ages one, and I think it's probably one that no matter what age you are, you can pick that one up and get something from it. It looks like it's going to be funny as well. And now, spin off from probably the best-selling kids book series of all time, Dogman. And it does it on the League of Misfits, and it's basically just a nice little preview of stuff. It looks nice. I like the fact that this is a very kids kind of thing, but it's also a comic book within a comic book, and they play with form, which I thought was really quite clever. Definitely going to be a big one, that one, though. Dogman sells out all over the place. From Kaboom, which is a young readers offshoot of Boom Studios, you have Mech Cadets. Honestly, this looks like it's based on an anime. I don't know if it is or not, but the art style and the storytelling thing makes me think it is. It looks fantastic. Who doesn't like big robots? And then also from Boom Studios, but still kids of all ages, Rangers Academy, which is very much what that one is, but this is more branded towards a Power Rangers kind of thing. Onto the Teen Plus now. Teen Plus is a vague thing. American reading ages are very different than UK. Think of it more as a content warning, because his first one, which is 13 Plus, is from the same people who did Tokyo Ghoul. Now, yeah, you can do some good horror stuff without being like an 18 certificate thing, but it still can be disturbing and unsettling. So just make sure that if you are getting that something a bit younger, you know what's going on with it. And then from Kodansha, so that was Viz Comics, we have a Shaman King one, and I've heard good things about Shaman King, but not really read it, so I don't know much about it. From IDW, the Teen One of Star Trek. This is a nice one because it's got a prelude to a big event thing they're doing, which is nice, but the second half of it is just Lower Decks comic book. Now, it's reprinting what was already been in Lower Decks, but Lower Decks was really hard to get hold of. It's sold out all over the place. They're going to do collections of them, so if you read this and like the Lower Decks, then get in contact, we can order it. From Image Comics now, we have The Sacrifices by Rick Remender. I'm a fan of Remender. I am certainly going to grab a copy of this myself. I flipped through it to check the artwork. It looks very intriguing. There's like maps and it looks like doing some good world building in there. Definitely on my radar. From Titan Comics, RuneScape. Now, Titan has a little bit of a thing where they generally only give you half of this as comic book. The rest of it is going to be promos and additional artwork and maybe some interviews. It does look good though. RuneScape was apparently this big thing, and I've really played it, but I knew people who got into it. It looks cool, and there's a massive center spread map, and I like maps in Fantasy World, so yay. Aftershock Comics next, who have been going through some troubles at the moment, not been paying people and having been putting out a lot of new stuff to kind of recoup costs by just selling their trades and things like that. But the thing they're doing the right thing here, they're reminding people of Animosity, which one of their big launchings that got them on the radar, and a new one which looks like they've put quite a bit of effort into. I like the look of it. It's got a bit of a dye comic book feel to it, but maybe aimed a little bit younger. From Dynamite now, we have Red Sonja. This is actually like a mixture of two comic books. We've got a slightly more contemporary Red Sonja and then a reprint of a classic one, and I like the idea of that one. If you're going to reprint something, I like the idea of you going like quite far back, so it's not something you could have just picked up a couple of years ago. Speaking of which, Animal Castle. I really like this. Made it onto my best of the year list. It's split between a preview of a reprint of the first bit of Volume 1 and then a preview of Volume 2, so you do get a very much good bang for your buck there, so you're not paying anything. It is a beautiful comic book. I'm probably going to wait for the second hardback volume to come out, because it is a gorgeous looking hardback book. Fabulous Furry Freak Brothers, which are all going back into print, which is good. It's been a long time since they have been. It's easy to kind of look down this as just like lame stoner humour, but honestly, hippies at the time when this was going on were very, very subversive. These people were like robbing banks and blowing stuff up and protesting against government. It is a political comic book, and I also think it's going to be quite good fun. Cursed Library from the Archie horror series. I don't know if the Cursed Library is a thing that exists within the Archie series, but it looks like for this point they're just using it as a framing device to do a Tales from the Crypt kind of thing, and then just promoting a lot of stuff which is either already out or on the way out. If you are looking for something new horror to try, it could be worth taking a look. Crime Buster from Comic House. I don't really know much about this, but I was willing to give it a try. The artwork and story inside seems to be kind of basically young kid either going off being a superhero or a spy with advanced technology, which I know has been covered, I think Alex Ride off the top of my head, but like there's probably a whole bunch of stuff like that. But I like the look of it at least. It looks interesting. From Valiant, Shadowman, Dark Legacy, and yeah, that's how you spell dark. I'm not too fussed about the Dark Legacy thing, but there's an Exo Man of War thing in with Liam Sharp on the art, and that's been getting a lot of good reviews when I've been seeing it, so yeah, give that one a try. From American Mythology, a company which very, very slowly puts out comic books, a little teaser for Tom Holland's Fright Night. We are like already, I think, almost a year behind in when we're supposed to be getting issue 3. In terms of like when issue 1 was supposed to be out, so I think them just doing this to remind people it exists isn't a bad thing. Street Fighter 6 issue 0. This is a good one because it feels like it's a full comic you're getting here as an issue 0 leading into the issue 1 of the Street Fighter comic book, which is going to be a weekly thing this summer. I'm not a big fan of the artwork, but I imagine if you've been playing Street Fighter games for a while, the aesthetic will appeal to you. Onto some Marvel stuff now. Spider-Man Venom. I'm mainly getting this one because I like Al Ewing stuff, and he's doing a tease for what's going on in the Venom one with Venom 1940. But there's also some Hickman stuff in the back, so if you're a Hickman fan, you want to grab that one. And then we have the Uncanny Avengers, which got Dugan mainly doing his stuff, but also you got some Hickman stuff in the back there, and a bit of a tease for Blade, which I quite like the look of. Marvel Voices. This is one that's slightly more disappointing because there's a whole bunch of stories in here. You've got Cody Ziegler and I'm forgetting names of all the people involved because there's quite a lot. A little long, that's what I was thinking. But that's a list of all the stories that you're going to get in there. But that is the only one that's not just reprinted elsewhere. Or reprinted here from elsewhere, should I say. Dawn of DC, Night Terrors. Now, if you're going to be getting the Night Terrors stuff or any of the DC stuff, I would recommend picking this one up. But it's doing the thing which DC have done before, and I do not like it, which is this is their schedule. And effectively what they're doing is spending 2 months just replacing all their key titles with Night Terrors tie-ins. And as a comic book store who has to order things, it makes me worry that if I order 13 copies of Batman for everyone who gets Batman from me, but only 5 people want them, I'm going to have a whole bunch left over. But if I only order 3 copies of Poison Ivy, because that's all the people want Poison Ivy, and it turns out to be great, I'm going to have 17 extra people asking for it. So if you get anything DC, go and find out about Night Terrors. Go and check who's doing the artwork for it, who's writing it. Check which one you want, because you're effectively not going to get your regular comic books for 2 entire months. And that's going to hit us because we want to sell you comic books, but we also don't want to pay for comic books that people aren't going to come and buy. I will say the artwork does look fantastic. Really, really solid, creepy artwork, which I quite like. And they've also got a lot of Dan Mora concept designs in there as well. Dan Mora's one of my favourite artists. Another one from DC, Girl Taking Over. A nice little OGN about a young Lois Lane. Now, I don't mind the idea of this one. We've got some good stuff they've been doing with these kind of creators, including the Titans things. But they also did Constantine Distorted Illusions, which was terrible. I'm not going to get fully into why it's bad. If you're ever in my shop, ask me. I will talk about it. But then we have the slightly more younger reader-looking one, which is 2 comics split together. You've got Clark and Lex, which is Young Superman, and then the Fan Club, which looks brilliant. It is very lo-fi kiddie, but looks very funny and quite adorable. On to the adult stuff now, or the mature reader stuff anyway, from Image, second from Image, Jeff Lemire's Fish Flies. Really, Jeff Lemire is one of those guys that I can take or leave, but this one does look cool. I like the art style on it, and he does have a lot of fans, so I imagine that will fly out. Opus have got into the Free Comic Book Day game doing a Frazetta-verse. This feels like a very just thinned out version of a heavy metal magazine. There's at least 3 different stories in here, all dark adult fantasy horror kind of stuff, but still look great. From Vault Comics, we've got West of Sundown. Now, I read West of Sundown. The first volume was fantastic. This is reprinting issue 1, so it's a good one. But I do think they've done better things. I'd have been happy with Autumnal or Rush or Shadow Service. But that's the one they picked. It's good, like I say, I had it on my pull list. Umbrella Academy from Dark Horse with a Witcher bonus in there as well. I'm definitely getting this one. I really, really like Umbrella Academy. I imagine that one's going to go quickly. And finally, Titan. Another one for Titan where we've got like a big thing where the second half is not really a comic book, but the artwork they've done for this Conan one and the layouts feels very classic Conan. I really am looking forward to giving that one a try. Feels like everyone's doing Conan comic books at the moment. Let's see if this one doesn't stand out. Right, like that's all the ones we've got. Now, there may be other ones out there, like there's the Dark Horse do Star Wars with Avatar in there, because one particular comic book chain has exclusive rights to do Star Wars by Dark Horse. We can't get that one. There's a few other issues with licensing where we just can't get them, and there's somewhere we just haven't bothered ordering them, like the O Street Price Guide. The amount of times we've got that in, and like 3 people have taken it. So that's what we've got. Your stores may have different setups, they may have different varieties, and again, they'll have different orders, offers, and promos. So thank you for watching this video, but if you've got your own comic books nearby, go and check them out for Free Comic Book Day. We all need help, and this is a great thing to do to help us go and support us on Free Comic Book Day. That's it for me. You may notice no reviews this week. There's only 2 new things came out, and I've only just finished reading one of them now, because I've been kind of busy. I might do a review basically for a weekend kind of thing, but if not, hopefully back next week. But, well, long story about what's happening next week. I'll get to that later. This is Free Comic Book Day stuff, and we're going to stay happy and merry, because literally in a week from now, people are going to be coming into this store and taking a whole bunch of free stuff, and I like that. Until I see you again, look after each other, everyone. Stay safe. Bye!